The spelling is that. If you can imagine the Russian spelling, there's a TS in front. All the British have done is knock the TS from the front, right? It only exists in Northern Hemisphere countries. It loves the cold, okay? It loves the cold. Like I say, I was a very lucky lad. There's a forest not too far from here, and my good friend Rob, seeing what was on my stove and what used to cost me, because I used to say to Rob how expensive chaga was, and luckily we did a nice exchange deal. Got to thank Rob for that. This one's spent, and that's how it looks. When it's on the tree, it looks like someone burnt the tree. So at some point in your life, when you were in a forest, you've probably seen this, okay? Now, if you're going to go out in the wild and look for it, don't chop the trees apart, okay? Don't chop the trees apart, right? Just take a little piece and it will last you for months. Take enough for your own experiment, but don't be greedy. And I totally disagree with the people who sell it. I've got to say, it's so valuable, and it's so valuable. It plays a serious part in nature. It's endophytic on the tree. It's not a parasite on the tree, right? It's a pure medicine. It lives with the tree and within the tree. As you can see, what makes it so active is the beta-glucans. Now, beta-glucans are polysaccharides made from carbohydrates, and there you can see the fibrous, you can see it, the beta-glucans. Now, this particular piece of chaga is probably 15-20 years old, this particular piece here. It was quite large. I was a very lucky guy, and like I said, thank Rob for that. If you do go out in the wild looking for it, just take enough. It'll last a long time, and you'll be able to exhaust it for at least 6 or 7 months making tea from it. And then if you go on the Facebook page, then you can extract the betulinic acid and the triterpenoids which are in the oil. When you first make a tea out of it, it's like a drink of engine oil. It's that thick. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So it'll make your eyes more intense. It'll put melanin in your skin. It'll make you more resilient to the sun, which is where this story started for me. Like I said, watch the amiodarone and the melanin. I don't want to go on about melanin again, guys, because I spoke seriously about it, right? Trace minerals, we got, like I said, boron, selenium. Oh, another interesting one, selenium. I've mentioned manganese, haven't I? Selenium. Don't forget, selenium is a precursor for glutathione. Now, glutathione is another antioxidant, a really powerful antioxidant that your body makes. So you have superoxide dismutase, which you need manganese, and then glutathione, which you need a precursor of selenium. It's all in there, guys. It's an absolute powerhouse. While I'm on, it's like I said, it's a definite, it's renowned as a cancer cure. Many cancers, right? The stories are endless. There's been books written about it. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the Russian author, if you're over 40 years of age, you might remember that author. He wrote a book called The Cancer Ward when he had cancer himself in a Russian hospital, the author. Really called The Cancer Ward, everybody dropping around dead around him. What he was doing was using chaga. Now, there are many books written about this. It's been extensively tested, and it was used by the Russians from 1955. I think it went on to about 1970s until the pharmaceutical cartels got involved, and you know what happens there. But with that said, if you also suffer from psoriasis, the skin problem, guys, that is directly linked to vitamin D, which I've just told you about. So all you people with psoriasis, you want to look into vitamin D, and this is absolutely fantastic for psoriasis. But what you gotta, when you're treating something, guys, right, and as you know, I'm not a doctor, right, so I've got to watch what I tell you here. But when you're treating things, when you got a blank canvas, right, a blank canvas is everything, okay? So if you've got psoriasis, a skin problem, this stuff is absolutely fantastic. But watch what other chemicals you're going to be putting in as well, because this becomes less effective. I'll just explain that to you now. Beta glucans, right? Oh, I forgot the seaweed. I'll do that. I'll show you that another time. I forgot the seaweed. Beta glucans, a really high source of beta glucans is chaga. All the mushrooms have got beta glucans in, and seaweed's very high as well. Oats has, but oats have been refined, see, haven't they? And these things, like I say to you guys, when I'm talking about vitamins, minerals and trace minerals, right, the refining of these products, right, you lose the trace minerals when you refine it. Watch out for an article a vlog I'm going to do on sugar. It's going to be really interesting, and I'll go into detail of how it gets refined and how you lose everything that you need in the sugar that starts in the sugar cane. But while I'm on the subject, right, beta glucans feed your white blood cells. Now, white blood cells protect you and ramp up your immunity. They make you immune to anything. They protect you, right? They're fantastic, right? Now, white blood cells eat beta glucans. They eat the beta glucans. They eventually pass the beta glucans to one another, and the beta glucans, the polysaccharides, find themselves in your bone marrow, right? This is important for all you art patients because of this. And now this is something I came across by accident. You look for the video I did on vascular progenitor cells, right? Have a guess what? Vascular progenitor cells, right, are born in your bone marrow. Remember me telling you that? Go and look for that video. Well, by accident, right, I came across you can ramp up your vascular progenitor cells with chaga. It's the easiest way to do it if you start drinking chaga. This is important to all you guys who've had an heart attack, because what was going on, if you listen to my video, my vlog, what was going on when you had your heart attack was I was telling you, remember when I was telling you about the last cell in the wall, and that atheroma plaques get pulled into arteries. They don't just grow on the inside of arteries. People think they do, and they don't. I was telling you that in one of the videos. It's called, I think it's called vascular progenitor cells. Well, through a passage of all the white blood cells, these will ramp up your vascular progenitor cells. That's fabulous news if you just come out of hospital and you've just had a stent, because like I said, the surgery is fabulous. You know, it's all great with the surgery, but let's not forget they only put a stent in your worst artery. It doesn't mean you haven't got other arteries in bad shape as well. Okay, so one way to improve the production of vascular progenitor cells, as well as change your hair colour from going grey to the colour you originally were, as well as to improve your skin tone and improve psoriasis, you can see. And if you've got any cancers, which I shouldn't say, is chaga mushroom. I told you, it's so powerful, it's unbelievable. It's only got, as I know to, I mean, some people say there's vitamin C. I don't know, I couldn't say. I know there's B2, thiamine riboflavin, it's riboflavin, and there's D2, ergosterol, which gets converted to viosterol and then becomes really active in the body. Now, I think it's viosterol that has such an impact on prostate cancer. So viosterol, I think that's the main impact. And vitamin D2 is important if you've got that skin condition, psoriasis. Do look into that. There you go. The almighty, your one and only chaga. Absolutely fantastic. Fan-bloody-tastic. Yeah. Highest source of beta-glucans in nature of any product you can get. A close second is seaweed. Now this is a seaweed I collected, and again, if you follow me on the Facebook page, you'll see me collected it. Excuse me. Going back in September to collect some more, and I'll be filming it. So we'll be by the sea. That'll be good, won't it? I used this live, and I turned it into a powder. Wow, is that strong? I turned it into a powder. You see that on the Facebook page. That's so high in beta-glucans, right? Beta-glucans, like I say, whenever you're dealing with polysaccharides or beta-glucans, right, you are dealing with something that feeds your white blood cells, and your white blood cells they are defenders of your immune system. They're your defense against colds, flu, cancer, everything. It's so important. And you can really then, when you start putting beta-glucans and using them, you can alter your body's chemistry and make yourself resistant to so many things, including cancer. So there's seaweed, but seaweed is still not as high in beta-glucans as chaga. Now, some time ago, I'm sure it was Chicago, they came up with something called the ORAC scale. Now the ORAC scale stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity, and this is top of, it knocks all the other things off that scale. This is top of that scale, right? The oxygen radical absorbance capacity.